Good day, welcome to Politics
Welcome to
on
Flip
Flip
News.
TV. My name is Pisoladipo. Ahead of its forthcoming National Executive Council meeting, the new Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) announced on Tuesday that far-reaching decisions will be made as part of its strategy for the 2027 general election. The party also plans to deliberate on the ongoing constitutional review to present a clear position on critical issues affecting Nigeria's democracy. In a statement by the National Publicity Secretary, Ladipo Johnson, it was stated that the crucial meeting, held on August 28, will deliberate on the impending congresses and national convention review the recent by-election and mass mobilization and registration of new members into the party. Johnson clarified that despite ongoing speculations and political permutations ahead of 2027, the NNPP remains open to multiple options in line with its founding principles and values. However, NNPP called on its members to participate actively in the ongoing continuous voters registration to either register or review their registration and be ready for the nationwide mass mobilization and registration of new members that is due to begin soon. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Tuesday, commissioned the 50 billion second phase of the Lower Usman Dam water supply project in Ushafa Buhari Aerial Council and announced the flag off of freshwater schemes worth 90 billion for rural communities and satellite towns. Wike explained that the rehabilitation of the dam awarded in 2022 before President Bola Tinubu assumed office was completed in line with the renewed Hope agenda, which prioritizes essential infrastructure. The minister disclosed that following agreement signed during Tinubu's visit to China last year, new water supply projects would begin this week, starting with Buhari on Wednesday and Karu on Thursday at the combined cost of 90 billion naira. Wike added that the FCT administration was diversifying its investment beyond road construction, citing schools, rural infrastructure, and other basic services. He directed the Education Secretariat to publish details of completed and ongoing school projects across the territory. Responding to allegations of unpaid contracts, Wike dismissed claims that he had awarded projects without funding, insisting that most liabilities were incurred by civil servants and past administrations. The minister noted that fiscal discipline had strengthened the FCT's finances, raising its internal generated revenue from 9 billion to over 30 billion monthly within 1 year, reiterating that its administration, alongside the Minister of State, Dr. Miriam Mahmood, would focus on legacy projects. Wike said it would remain undistracted by blackmail and criticism. The Independent National Electoral Commission has disclosed that certificates of return will be presented to the winners of the just concluded by-elections across the country on Thursday, August 21st, 2025. National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voters Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, who stated this in a statement on Tuesday, said the decision compiled with the provisions of Section 72, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022. It said the presentation for senators-elect and members of the House of Representatives-elect will take place at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja at 3 p.m. According to him, those to receive their certificates include senators-elect for Anambra South and Edo Central Senatorial District, as well as 5 members of the House of Representatives-elect from Ovie Northeast and Ovie Southwest, federal constituencies of Edo State, Babura Garki, federal constituency of Jigawa State, Chikun, Kajuru, federal constituency of Kaduna State, Ikenne, Shagamu, Remo, North federal constituency of Ogun State, and Ibadan North federal constituency of Oyo. Olumekun, however, noted that the State House of Assembly certificate of return would be presented by the Representatives Resident Electoral Commission in State Office on Friday, August 22, 2025 at 11 a.m. The affected constituencies are Ganye, Adamawa, Onisha North, Anambra, Basawa, and Zana. He further observed that rerun elections ordered by the Election Petition Appeal Tribunals were conducted in Enugu and Kano states, adding that after previous disruption of the election in those two states by violence and thuggery, the election have now been completed. Udumeko said while results have been declared in most constituencies, the election in Kaura Namoda, South constituency of Zamfara state, was declared inconclusive due to violence in 5 polling units. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has claimed that former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, was bitterly disappointed after President Bola Tinubu did not select him as his running mate in the 2023 election. Wike, speaking on Channels Television, said Lawal personally visited him in Port Harcourt shortly after Tinubu announced former Borno Governor Kashim Shettima as his vice presidential candidate. According to Wike, Lawal was visibly upset during the meeting because he had expected to be chosen instead. Wike argued that Lawal's recent criticism of Tinubu's leadership stemmed from personal grievances rather than genuine concerns for the state of the nation. He accused the former SGF of allowing disappointment to fuel his public outburst against the president. In recent weeks, Babachi has described President Tinubu as arrogant and unapproachable, warning that Nigeria was on a dangerous path under the current administration. Wike dismissed these remarks, saying Lawal's words were unpalatable and lacked sincerity. The FCT minister also defended Tinubu's leadership style, insisting that governance is not designed for every citizen to have direct access to the president. Instead, he said Nigerians should approach ministers and advisors responsible for specific sectors. On the economy, Wike acknowledged that Nigerians are facing hardship but urged patience, noting that structural reforms cannot yield results overnight. He argued that under previous administrations, states frequently relied on federal bailouts to survive, but Tinubu's reform has allowed states greater fiscal independence. Wike also pointed to international recognition of Nigeria's anti-terrorism effort, claiming that the United States and the United Kingdom has commended recent gain by the security agency. The minister further criticized opposition figures who, according to him, make unrealistic promises. He refers his predecessors, Rotimi Amechi, who is now a coalition with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, who vowed to eradicate corruption within a month. He also accused him of presiding over corruption scandals in Rivers State, including the diversion of public funds into failed projects such as the state monorail in ill-fated Karibi White Hospital and the disappearance of government aircraft. While acknowledging the economic strain on citizens, Wike insisted that Tinubu's policies are laying the groundwork for future stability. He urged Nigerians to judge the administration fairly and not on sentiments of political disappointment. That's all on the news. My name is Pisola Adepo. Thank you.